Welcome back, story lovers! Today, we're diving deep into a realm of myth and magic, back to the Bronze Age, to a land known as the Plains of Kes. Imagine vast, sun-drenched plains with rolling green hills under a brilliant blue sky. A peaceful Bronze Age village with thatched roof huts is nestled in a valley, painted in vivid, cheerful colors. People in simple, colorful tunics are farming, and children are playing. But peace is a fragile thing. Suddenly, the sky darkens ominously. Long, distorted shadows from the hills creep towards the village like grasping fingers. The vibrant colors of the village begin to dull as the shadow passes over a darkness born of ambition and malevolent power. This darkness had a name, John. He wasn't a king or a conqueror in the traditional sense. He was a sorcerer, his heart twisted by a thirst for absolute control. John's magic was a corrupting force, a creeping poison that bent nature and minds to his will. He saw the free people of Kes not as neighbors, but as pawns, tools to be used and discarded in his grand design to enslave the entire land. His influence began to spread like a plague, with whispers of his dark deeds turning into terrified cries in the night. Crops withered, livestock fell sick, and a palpable fear settled over the once joyful plains. The people felt helpless, their hope dwindling with each passing day. But even in the deepest darkness, a single flame can defy the night. And in Kes, that flame was a man named William. William was no ordinary man. He was an earth mage, a member of the local adventurers guild. Unlike John, whose power sought to dominate and corrupt, William's magic was one of nurturing and protection. He could feel the heartbeat of the land, coax life from barren soil, and raise walls of stone to shield the innocent. He was a guardian, his strength drawn from the very earth he swore to protect. For William, this was more than just a fight for the people. It was a defense of life itself. He felt the land's pain as a sickness in his own soul. The final straw came when a sacred spring in his village, a source of healing, ran black with John's poison. It was a personal violation. This desecration of the earth solidified his resolve. While others hid, William stepped forward, his purpose clear. He traveled from village to village, using his powers not for glory, but for good. Where John's magic brought blight, William commanded the earth to yield bountiful harvests, feeding the starving. He raised earthen barriers to defend towns from John's encroaching monstrous creations. Becoming a symbol of defiance, the people of Kes began to look to him, their hope rekindled. They saw in William not just a powerful mage, but a protector who stood with them, not above them. His resolve was as solid as the mountains themselves. William knew that defending against John's attacks wasn't enough to truly save Kes. The source of the darkness had to be extinguished. He had to confront the sorcerer himself. This was no simple task. John's fortress was said to be a place of nightmares, shielded by twisted magic and guarded by creatures spawned from shadow. It was a journey from which many would never return. Yet, armed with his connection to the earth and the unwavering support of the people he protected, William set out. His quest was a perilous one, a path that would test his strength, his courage, and the very limits of his power. His journey took him through enchanted forests where the trees whispered warnings, and across treacherous mountains that tried to block his path at every turn. He faced illusions and monsters sent by John to break his spirit, but for every trick and every beast, William had an answer. He called upon the ancient stones to guide him, used vines to create bridges over chasms, and turned the very ground against his foes. He wasn't just fighting with magic, he was fighting with the heart of Kes itself. He gathered allies along the way, a swift-footed archer from the forest clans, a wise old hermit who knew the secrets of the mountains, all united by their shared desire to see John defeated. Finally, after a long and arduous journey, William and his companions reached John's dark citadel. The final battle was a cataclysmic clash of ideologies. John's chaotic, destructive sorcery versus William's steadfast, life-giving earth magic. The sky itself seemed to split as their powers collided. John threw everything he had at the Earth Mage, trying to corrupt him, to tempt him with promises of unlimited power. But William's will was unshakable. He was fighting for more than just his own life. He was fighting for every family, every village, every blade of grass on the plains of Kess. In a final, desperate act, William channeled all his energy not into an attack, but into a wave of pure, life-affirming energy. He didn't seek to destroy John, but to sever his connection to the dark forces he commanded. The land itself rose to aid him, its purity overwhelming the sorcerer's corruption. The darkness shattered. As light poured back into the citadel, John's power unraveled, leaving him a broken man, his reign of terror over. William had done it. He had faced the greatest darkness in the land and emerged victorious, not through destruction, but through protection and an unwavering belief in the goodness of the world. Peace, hard-won and precious, returned to the plains of Kess. And so, William, the humble Earth Mage from the Adventurers Guild, became a legend. He didn't seek a crown or a throne. He simply returned to his work, helping the people rebuild, his hands in the soil he loved. He showed everyone that true strength isn't about how much you can control, but how much you can protect. What a story! It really makes you think about where true power comes from. If you loved this journey into the world of Kess, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more epic tales. Thanks for watching!